Good morning. So I'm excited for this one today. I've actually been running and been around in running as long as this shoe has, because they're only up to the 4th version. Again, I started in 2019 and the Saucony Endorphin Speed came out in 2020 for the first time, and that quickly became one of my favorite shoes. I've had the 1, 2, and 3, so now we're up to the Endorphin Speed 4. So I'm curious to see what changes they made. 1 and 2 were very similar. It was just kind of an upper update. With version 3, they made it wider, the foam was softer, had a bit more of an accommodating fit, but to me it lost some of the snappiness and the speed of the original 2 versions. They made it more of a daily trainer and less of a speed shoe. Now we'll see with the 4th version if they've kind of walked it back towards its original roots, or if they're doubling down on that daily trainer position for this shoe. I hate when shoes have these stretchy laces. I just tied this like 2-3 times, and look at how much slack I have there. I thought I was tying it as tight as I could, but then when you go to actually make the knot, you lose the tension in the laces because it's so stretchy. So I'm going to retie these again before my run. Good news on that first little push I did there. These do feel speedier than the Speed 3s. Obviously that was a quick little thing. I'm gonna do a whole run now. I'm gonna do a warm-up, go through some intervals, and see how this does over the longer run. But just initially, the toe box is definitely narrower in this shoe, which I prefer. But if you need more volume in the toe box area, I would say that the 3 definitely has that compared to this one. So the fit of this one is going a little bit closer back to the 1 and 2. Now we'll see how it performs over this run. I am also feeling a little bit of heel slippage on my right foot. I really don't like these stretchy laces. That's my #1 negative so far, having been in this shoe for a very short amount of time. It's really hard to get a lockdown when laces are this stretchy, because you kind of pull them tight, and then the minute you let go of that tension, they just loosen right up again. So I've retied that right shoe several times before I started running, and I still feel like I don't have a great lockdown. I'll probably try a runner's knot on my next run to see how that makes a difference, but I usually like to run with every shoe first, just tied normally, and then do the runner's knot if necessary. Okay, Saucony, I think me and you are gonna have a good year together this year in 2024. Even though I have to buy all your shoes at full price because no one cares that I have a YouTube channel. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers before I get any revenue from my channel. So I've been doing this for a little over a year now, buying a lot of shoes. It'd be nice if I could put some money back into the purchasing shoes from the channel. So if you like the content, please subscribe so I can make my wife less mad at me for buying all these shoes. But the good news is, with the Speed 4 right now, these feel fantastic. I'm super impressed. I just did a 15-minute warm-up, 2 miles, a little over 15 minutes, so a little under 8-minute mile pace. Usually my easy pace is between 8 and 8:30, so these did have me moving a little bit faster. I think the first mile was about 7:30. I was a little too excited, and then I started to relax a little bit and ease into that second mile. But these actually are reminding me a lot of the feeling that I get from the Super Blast from Asics, which is one of my favorite shoes recently. These have a really nice propulsive bounce to them. They definitely feel more propulsive than the Speed 3s. So I think these are somewhat of a return to form of what the Endorphin Speed used to be. I'm about to do some intervals where I'm going to turn up the pace. I'm going to try not to get hit by a car right at this moment. and see how these do at faster speeds. But that initial feeling from these shoes, I'm getting much more bounce, much more energy return. It felt really comfortable and nice to just kind of cruise along at that easy pace, but they felt like they wanted to go faster. I think this is going to be an excellent long run shoe. I think it has more speed in it than what I used to use the Speed 1 and 2 for, which was more of a tempo shoe that kind of makes you want to run fast. And then I feel like the Speed 3 was more comfortable. It was more of a cruiser. It was better for long runs and daily miles, but didn't have as much of an edge as the first one. We may have a Hannah Montana moment here where we have the best of both worlds, from the 1 and 2 and the 3 kind of combining to make maybe the best version of the Speed yet. We'll see. It's too early to say that. I got a lot more work to do in the shoe, but so far, first impressions, very good. All right, one word for you, Saucony. Yes. I'm in the middle of my intervals right now, but just figured I would check in to give an update because these are feeling fantastic. You did it, Saucony. I'm very excited about this shoe. I was getting into the 6s, maybe dipping into the 5-minute pace on those first couple intervals. I'm gonna really try and go for it on these next few. But really pleasant bouncing sensation when you're running slower in this shoe. Gives you that forward propulsion. I feel like the other shoe wanted to kind of bounce you up with the Speed 3, but not bounce you forward as much. This is some muddy grossness that I'm walking through now. Oh, that brings me to the grip of this shoe is actually a lot better than the 3 as well. There's a new grip pattern on this shoe. In the rear of the shoe, they also expanded the protection out further. I did have some wear on the outside of the Speed 3. I'll show a picture of that, where this one they extended it to the sides, and that's long been a complaint with the Speed line, that grip on wet surfaces isn't that good. Looks like Saucony listened to that this time. There's that new lattice kind of shaped grid pattern on there, and it rained all day yesterday, so the ground's a little bit wet today, and these shoes are gripping excellent. They're not slipping at all. So I'm not running in the rain right now, but on wet pavement, these are gripping really, really well. Running faster on those intervals, the foam is just giving me even more energy return. It kind of firms up a little bit. It's more responsive. This is like a hyper-tuned version of the Speed 3, like really all in the positive. It's like the Speed 3 just drank a double espresso and got some more vigor. It's got more pep in its step. I like how they reshaped the upper. It's a little bit more narrow, which fits my foot better. The only issue I'm having right now is I am getting a little bit of rubbing on my right heel. Again, I think it's just the laces. I'm probably gonna swap the laces of these shoes when I get home. Saucony, stop putting these stretchy laces in all the shoes. So first impressions of the Speed 4. This shoe is phenomenal. It's headed in the right direction, back towards what I loved about the 1 and 2. This has that springy, poppy, aggressive feeling, but it also has the comfort and a little bit more accommodating fit of the 3. So I really think this did kind of mold those shoes together into what might be the best version yet. I'm still not ready to say that because I need to do more runs, but out of the box, these are feeling so phenomenal. When I was running in my easy pace, it was just a pleasure. Like, I feel like I could do it all day. It's just comfortable, bouncy, really great. My only problem right now are these damn laces. I can definitely feel I'm gonna have a blister on my right Achilles, kind of right above my heel. There's some firm plastic in the heel counter of this shoe, which is fine as long as you have a good lockdown. But again, since those laces were a little bit too loose, I did have some rubbing up and down with my Achilles. It still doesn't feel so good right now. I can feel I'm probably gonna have a blister from that. I did halfway through my intervals put the runner's knot in the shoe because I could kind of feel that happening. That made a huge difference because that would be the only problem with this upper. There's absolutely nothing for these laces to bite on unless you do the runner's loop. 2 of the lace loops are the little fabric ones that it goes through. So you tighten the bottom, pull on the laces, let go, the slack goes right out of the laces again. Pull the middle ones, let go, it goes right out again. So those stretchy laces not biting onto anything it was hard for me to get a good lockdown. Once I put the runner's knot in there, there was a fixed point where the laces at the bottom were stopped to that knot, and then when I pulled down on the top, the whole thing tightened up, so that really made a huge difference. So when I get home, I'm gonna switch laces on these shoes. Probably the ones that I had in the Speed 3s, they're now gonna go in these. And then I will use a runner's knot going forward with this shoe. So I'm actually not going to say that much more about this shoe in this review, because I really just wanted to get my first impressions out there of how it felt on my first run. But my first impressions are, it's great. This is a really good shoe. It's making me so happy that I can run faster in it. That was something where the Speed 3 really kind of let me down. Where it was a comfortable shoe, it was good for long runs. I just couldn't really, it just didn't have that explosiveness of the original. And this kind of feels like a combination of the two, where it has that softer foam. It's more compliant than the 1 and 2, but it has the stability and comfort of the 3, but a little bit more snappiness that the 1 and 2 used to have. So I still think those two shoes are faster than this one, but this might be the best one overall from a versatility standpoint. The fact that it can kind of do all those things well. It's stable, it's comfortable, it's fast, it can do long runs, it can do speed efforts. So I think this is a really, really good version of this shoe. As you saw in the earlier part of the video though, the only negative of that first run was I did get a pretty nasty blister. I'm owing that up to the laces here. These are the laces that I really like from Saucony. These are the Visi laces, and these have some more texture to them. They're not stretchy. It's like a traditional lace. It has the reflective element there, but it's just like a solid, sturdy lace that's not stretchy. So I actually took these from other Saucony shoes I had. I used to have the orange laces in this one. I just transported those to this because I'm going to be using these ones a lot more now, so I figured they'll get the ones that match. And I just put another pair of the Visi laces in the Speed 3 because this also had the stretchy laces, and I switched it to these ones because I was experiencing that same problem, a little bit harder to get a lockdown with the stretchy laces that the shoe comes with. Also, if you look at the room in the toe box, the Speed 3 kind of is more even across the whole way, a little bit more volume there. The Speed 4 kind of tapers in a little bit more on the outside here, so that might be a little bit worse fit for some people if you have a wider foot, but for my foot, this one actually fits me better, but I was getting a better lockdown from this one with those stretchy laces. This does have a little bit different tongue too. It is fully gusseted and thin and perforated. Interestingly, the 4 gained about a half an ounce from the Speed 3, but I did not notice that on foot at all. This feels so much more explosive, so much more bouncy, so much more energy return. It feels 10 times lighter, even though it's a little bit heavier. So I would not worry about the weight at all. If you notice this one gained a little bit of weight, it feels so much faster. It completely makes up for that. I don't even notice it. One of the things I like about the 4 compared to the 3 is look at the 4-foot grip there. It's full coverage and a different pattern to it, where this was really doing a great job gripping on that slippery road today. We have a little bit of the plate exposed on this one, but also in the back we can see how far they extended these pads all the way up to the outside of the shoe. So there's no foam showing out the side here, where with the Speed 3, this did end before it got to the side, and you can see I actually have wear all along this side and also on the outside as well. So that rubber not making it all the way to the outside, I did have wear, so they extended that kind of in the right places. So I think this shoe is going to have better grip and better durability than the Speed 3. I have over 150 miles on the Speed 3, and these are still holding up well. I don't have that much wear in the actual rubber, but some of the foam around the rubber is where I'm getting that wear, but these still feel good. I have all 4 versions of the Endorphin Speed up there, so that's probably the next video I'm going to do. I'm going to compare those 4. I'm going to run in the 1, 2, 3, and 4 and really do like a back-to-back comparison of how I feel those all work with each other. And then another one I'm excited about behind me there, I got the other one here too. This is the new Endorphin Pro 4, and I like this colorway. I think this is the coolest colorway that they initially released. So looking forward to giving these a shot as well. In summary, I'm very impressed with the Speed 4. I think this is an improvement over the Speed 3 in pretty much every way. We'll see how it compares to the 1 and 2 when I do that back-to-back comparison. But I think people who appreciate the Speed 3 are really going to like this one because it has the comfort and the stability of the Speed 3, but it also feels a little bit faster. And then people who are missing the speed from the 1 and 2, that the Speed 3 was lacking a little bit, I think this one's got a little bit of its mojo back. So I think this is going to please fans of the 1 and 2 and fans of the 3. And we'll see how this compares when I do them all side by side. So coming up soon on my channel, I'll be doing that direct comparison between all versions of the Speed. And then I'm also going to be doing a first impressions review of the Pro 4, and I'll be comparing that to some of the other carbon plate racing shoes that I'm using. So that's what's coming soon. That's all I have for today. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.